Hello everyone, and in my topic I will be discussing about the geometrical representations of signal using the Gram-Smith orthogonalization procedure that the steps we have already dealt with. So as we know that in digital communication what we do, we have to transmit digital data. So we use that digital data to modulate a carrier, and then at the receiver side we have to do the demodulation in the presence of noise, and we have to get our signal back. So over there we will have some concepts of signal space representation of the signal, what is transmitted and what is received, and hence finding out the or doing the detection of the signal over there. So over here this procedure, this GOS procedure helps us a lot to do the geometrical representations of the signal. So steps we already know. Now let us see how we are going to apply this to signals, the modulated signal or any signal in general. So what our objective is when we are dealing with geometrical representations, let's suppose we are given a capital M number of energy signals. That is, we have some time limited signals, or what we call as energy signals, and that is capital M in number. We have to represent this capital M energy signals in the space. So we have to divide our space into some basis functions, some, or like for example we have 2D space, so you have two orthogonal axes. Similarly over here, let's suppose n dimensional space we are having. So for getting a n dimensional space, you should have n orthonormal basis function. So what we will be doing is, our objective will be we will be representing the set of m signals denoted by SIT as a linear combinations of n orthonormal basis functions, and over here the number of basis functions will be always less than the number of signals given to you. So let's suppose you have some real value signals denoted by S1t, S2t up to SMT, and each of the signal is energy signal. So let us suppose they all are of duration capital T seconds. So our equation will be SIT, any signal SIT is a linear combination. So when we are writing in the form of linear combination, you have some coefficients multiplied by the basis function and summation over here. So if you expand this equation, it will be SIT will be equal to SI1 phi 1t plus SI2 phi 2t and so on. So the value of I will run for 0 to capital M, number of signals that is given to you. So we'll go on taking signals one by one, S1t, S2t, S23, and for all the signals you can write it as a linear combinations of the basis functions that you have derived over here. So this GOS procedure will help us to find out these basis functions, and you can calculate these coefficients value. So any signal you will be able to represent in a space. So over here SIT is a energy signal, Sij are called as coefficients, and these phi jt's are your orthonormal basis functions. So what is the formula? Let's suppose if I know at any point of time, you can do the reverse also. If you know the signal, you know the basis function, just multiply it, you will get your coefficient value. And a very important property I want to state over here is, if you have two basis functions, okay, let's suppose these two basis functions are phi it, phi jt. So if you multiply them and integrate them, it will give you 0 only if these two signals are different, basis functions are different. So this is called as orthogonality of basis function. The property is the two basis functions are altered, two different basis functions are always orthogonal. So phi it and phi jt, if I is not equal to j, this product will give you 0, and if I and j are equal, so the answer will give you 1. That is, the energy of that basis function is unity. So we call these basis functions, due to this property, we call these basis functions as orthonormal basis functions. So what we have done over here, if you can find out all the Sij's, the set of these coefficients will give you the signal vector denoted by Si. So any signal SIT can be denoted by its vector denoted by capital Si, and over here you will have capital N number of coefficients that you have derived for this signal. So it will be represented like this. For example, if you were having a signal SIT, okay, so its vector is Si, and it will contain all the components of all the coefficients that you derive for that signal. Now there are various other properties. Suppose I want to calculate the length of the vectors in a space. When I have geometrically represented my signal as a vector in this space, in the n dimensional space, so if I want to find out the length of the vector, so the length of the vector is denoted by L2 nor, of SI vector, and the formula will be SI transpose. You have to remember this matrix, you have to simply multiply with the SI matrix. So substitute these values, your formula will be, the length of the vector will be simply the coefficient square, and you have to do it for all the components on all the axes, that is j running from 1 to n. So here is an example. Or let's suppose you are having three signals, that is the value of capital M is 3, and you have two basis functions f1 and f2. So over here f1 is, you can see, is orthogonal to f2 basis function, that because this is due to the property that we have divided my space into two-dimensional space over here, and in this two-dimensional space three signals are represented over here: signal S1, signal S2 and signal S3. So from this, let's suppose I want to calculate the energy of the signal. So the energy of the signal SIT is calculated by the formula SI square T is simply is what you integrate the signal for T duration, you will be able to find out the energy of the signal denoted by EI by using this formula. So now over here, as we know, as we've already represented this signal SIT as a linear combination using this equation. So I can substitute this value of SIT in this equation. So I'll be able to get the energy of signal SIT denoted by EI. So let us try to substitute it. So SIT I have substituted over here in this equation. Rearranged it. Just try to rearrange it. You will get that EI will come out to be nothing else but coefficients whole square and its sum. So this was nothing else but the L2 norm of SI vector only. So I can say if I represent any signal SIT in a space, I will be getting a vector. Just find out the length, square of length of that vector. Find out the length, square it will directly give you the energy of the signal. So energy of the signal is equal to the squared length of its vector. So now GOS procedure we will be applying. So the procedure, as we already done, the quick steps are: find first basis function, then to find second basis functions, find out the next coefficients S21 and S22. So when you find out S21, you know S2t, find out the next basis functions using G2t. So phi 2t, you have already done second basis functions, and go on repeating these steps and go on finding out GIT, and from GIT go on finding out phi j, phi I t's. Okay, all the basis functions. So let us take an example of a modulated signal, BPSK signal. So when we will do these numericals, you find out at the end BPSK is, we are transmitting two bits, 1 or 0, using two different waveforms. So if I am transmitting 0, I will get a signal point over here. If I am representing 1, transmitting 1, I will get a signal point over here. So how I have got this this diagram? This diagram over here is known as signal space representation of BPSK, or you can call it as a constellation diagram of BPSK. So one signal is represented by a point over here. Second signal is also represented by a point over here. So you can see where these 2 points are lying in space. Similarly, if you have QPSK, the constellation diagrams comes out to be 4 points in space situated as such. Then QAM for 16 points. Similarly, you can do for any modulated signal. So let us try to view the set of signals in a vector space using the signal space concept. So what could be the help of this? You can, any modulation scheme having certain desired properties, what you can do, you can design that modulation scheme. You can put the distance between 2 points and something. You can design your modulation scheme that you have certain property. You will be able to examine it easily using the geometrical space representation. So you can construct your optimal receivers and analyze the performance of the modulation. So over here, let us take an example. Let's suppose I am having 4 set of signals: S1t, S2t, S3t and S4t are the 4 signals given to me, and I have to represent these 4 signals in a space. So I don't know what will the dimension of this. So start applying the GOS procedure and go on calculating the basis function starting from phi 1t. So let us first find out phi 1t. Over here I have denoted by f1t. So the first basis function was first signal divided by its energy. So energy of first signal was directly apply the formula S1 square t integration for the complete duration. The answer will be coming as 2. For first basis function, divide the signal by its under root of energy. You will get the value of S1t divided by under root of 2. So 5 F1t or first basis function I can easily draw. Whatever was S1t, just divided by root 2. So S1t was lying from -1 to 1 or 0 to 1 you can say. So directly it will be 0 to 1, only the amplitude will be divided by under root of 2. Now I have to find out the second basis function F2t or G2t I have to find out. So what I have to do for second basis function, the step was phi 2t was G2t divided by norm of G2t. So find out G2t first from the second signal. So over here G2t, or you can say F2 dash t, this is same as G2t, will be equal to the second signal. Just apply the formulas S2t minus, this will be the coefficient 1 2 and the first basis function phi 1t. So if you just substitute these values over here, you will see that G2t value is coming as same as S2t, and just find out its energy, divide by its energy, you will find out the second basis function. Second basis functions also you can draw, only take this divided by root 2. Similarly go on doing these steps C1 3, C2 3, and find out next G3t or F3 dash t, it will come as 0. So whenever any GIT comes out to be 0, that is there is no new basis function. So for representations of these signals, you have to go only till this phi to t only. So the procedure is now complete for this case. Now let us take another example of MRE PSK. So MRE PSK, let's suppose you are having 8 PSK. So write down the general equation of 8RE PSK as SIT is this. For different values of signal I, the value of I, you will get 8 different equations over here. Do the steps as before. You will get first basis function, you will get the second basis functions, and you will see that you will not require any further basis function apart from this. So SIT can be written as C1I F1t, first linear combinations of F1t and F2t, the two basis functions that I have got. Just draw the diagram for 8 points. Take example of 8 PSK, you will get the signal point like this. Only these are the coefficients. Just plot these coefficients in the space. You will be getting your signal space representation as such. So this is the last example which you all can try. Thank you.